What is going on, painting company owners? Happy Saturday. Want to talk today about qualifying your leads. What are you doing? What are you not doing to qualify the leads that come into your ecosystem? Because there is no one answer, there's no one solution fits all here. It's very dependent on sort of the life cycle of your company, the stage you're at, how big you are, and what you're ultimately trying to accomplish, the kind of customer you're trying to serve, your service area, what your margins are, how well staffed you are, everything like that. So, for example, a big company with a lot of resources, maybe several estimators on staff, probably a good solution there would be to chase down almost every lead because you're going to end up landing a large majority of them. And even if they're smaller jobs, if you're run efficiently enough and you can create margin and you have the manpower, then it makes sense to take on those jobs. For a smaller company where maybe you, the owner, are actually doing the estimating, then you might want to be a little more selective, right? But then it depends how many leads are coming through. Do you have leads coming through daily, or do you only have maybe 5 or 10 a month, right? So what are you doing for marketing? Where are those leads coming in, and ultimately, what's your bandwidth? Because if you're spending time, obviously driving an hour to go conduct an estimate, and it was a terrible lead, then that's of course really inefficient, right? So some ways that we found to really be productive for qualifying leads is, first off, do it on the phone. People respond well to that because you can really focus on making sure that you understand the scope of their project, because you want to be able to provide detailed estimate and detailed assistance, right? So kind of getting into learning more about their project. If they say it's for exterior, learn more about what that is. Is it a full exterior? Do they only want a portion of their house painted? If it's an interior, is it full interior? Does it include the trim? Are they just talking about a room or kitchen cabinets involved? And the more kind of detail you can get, then the more you can qualify before actually sending out anyone. Phone calls is pretty fast and cheap and easy. Driving out to a location to provide an estimate to a lead that was never really going to be a good job is expensive, from a time perspective. Um, some painting companies kind of disqualify immediately based on location, which I think is a mistake because sometimes even in locations that are maybe not the most affluent, or maybe they've had bad experiences there in the past, you can still lose a really good opportunity if you just disqualify on that metric alone. So it's important to have a standard set of questions and know what are your qualifiers, what are your disqualifiers, and have that system, kind of that standard operating procedure, SOP, in place. So you're not flying by the cuff of your pants and be like, well, I've had a lot of bad experiences over there. This person lives over there, so we don't want to provide that estimate, right? And then you always have the option to charge for estimates. And then if they hire you, then that their price is reduced by the amount of the estimate. They can charge $100, $200 for an estimate, and ultimately that gets knocked off if they hire you. Now you have to have a certain brand authority in the market. You have to have a certain strong positioning to probably be able to do that because so many companies are offering free estimates. So if you blend in with every other company and you don't have a really strong online presence, people are unlikely to want to pay you for an estimate when they can get estimates from 5 other companies that look just like you for free. So there goes back to being the 100-pound gorilla in your local market and standing out. But anyways, some thoughts. Feel free to send me a message or reach out to Painter Marketing Pros if you have any questions about your specific qualifying process. And happy Saturday.